Hello and welcome again to the American Motors Guy. We are at an undisclosed location. we actually came out and we came out to visit with Mr. William Clark, and he invited us into his garage so we could take a look at a couple of vehicles. We started out with a 1968
AMC AMX with it's rally green with tan interior.
Correct. And you've been doing some work to it.
Yes.
And what have you been helping? This is John. This is not your car. This
right.
is
This is John's car.
Okay. So John is the owner, and he has summoned you to do what?
Basically, get the car in shape the way he had his car when he was a teenager.
Okay.
And basically, he bought the car pretty much complete, drove it up from Florida. He had been talking to me on and off about me doing some work for him.
Okay.
And I didn't know if I really wanted to do it or not, but he talked me into it.
Okay.
And I said I would do it for him. He said he'd like to help me as well, which he has been.
Okay. And what kind of items have you been doing? I know you said you did some interior stuff.
Yes, I replaced all the carpeting in it.
Okay.
It actually had tan carpeting in it, but he wanted the dark brown carpeting in it.
And the double loop, right?
The double loop.
Okay.
Double loop.
So that's more correct as far as age correctness and stuff. And it is a what size motor's in this?
It's got the 390.
Okay, 390 automatic or
390,
okay.
390 automatic.
390 automatic. We're gonna do the VIN and the door tag on this car. I actually forgot my red, white, and blue book, so that's my fault. So what I will do is I will try to break it down in the video for everyone, and we'll show everything to everyone. This car is highly optioned.
Yes.
It is very AC.
Yep.
Power steering. Wheel, power steering, power brake.
Yep.
It's loaded. It's quite loaded. Beautiful paint job. The car is very nice. We did a walkthrough, so we walked under the car.
Yep.
And we commented about your lighting underneath your lift and how nice that is. That makes it very nice when you're working on the car. You're not trying to hold a light. You got plenty of light underneath the car. And then we did I did a little video of the interior and seeing the carpet that you installed and that sort of stuff. And we took a little video of the door tag and things, but I haven't got the VIN number yet. So we'll put it down and we'll do a VIN check on it. And we'll do a walk around with us talking about the car a little bit more too. And we'll let you see some up close stuff on the car. And then we have another one that you see directly behind us, that this one actually belongs to Bill. Well, Bill's wife.
Yeah.
The boss.
The boss.
The boss. So this is the boss's car. And he's been steadily working on this. And when you picked this up, it was from another member.
Yes.
The car that he had started and just said, I'm done. I don't want to do anymore. I'm finished. And this thing didn't have a motor or
nope, didn't have
trans either, was it?
Didn't have the motor, didn't have the trans, but he had them. He also gave me the original 290 engine as well. The 290 engine looked pretty rough on the exterior, but I popped off the valve cover and literally you could eat off the inside of that valve cover. So I don't think that motor actually has a whole lot of miles on it. This car right behind us also came from Florida. So it's actually a rust-free car.
All right. That's nice. It's the paint job on that car is just outstanding. It is phenomenal how nice that car is, and that paint's been on that car a long time.
Yes.
And it's just never been. It was showed last year because this is the story. This is how it goes. Last year, everybody knows that the 2023 AMO Nationals were held in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yep. It was our very first time ever hosting. We had some hiccups and we had some rain and we had a lot of problems, but we had a lot of people at our show. We had 201 cars. Yep. Total. We had 100 be judged, and that was one of the judged cars.
Yes.
Now, I was part of I had one of my cars in the display and another one in the judge section, because the one that I was going to put, the other one I was going to put in was the Eagle, and we were mad rushed to get them there and to get them done, and you got the engine put in this to make sure it would make it to the show, and I busted my butt to get the engine put in mine, and the whole time it's pouring oil because the rear main oil seal was leaking. So we got them to the show. We had extra, it made it a little nicer for us to have more cars at the show, but they weren't all runners. at least two of them were not runners, but hey, you do what you got to do. But there's a little video going to be coming out on the Eagle. We figured out what that problem was, so you'll be looking out for that little quick video. In the meantime, we're going to talk more about this car. Now, it wasn't interior in it either.
No, the interior was not in the car at all. He gave me all the interior to go with the car. Carpet was folded up in the trunk. The seats are the original, although the front seats actually were somewhat redone. The centers were redone in like a brown, but the rear seat still got the original cloth.
Houndstooth.
The houndstooth, which I do have the original houndstooth cloth coming, so I can redo the front seats.
And it was SMS, so it had the material. So there again, that's another one of the American Motors guys, people that we looked out at, and SMS, if you have an interior problem or you're looking for a specific interior, including the Pierre Cardin, you can get it from SMS. And they stand behind what they sell. I mean, seat foam, they sell a little bit of everything. So it's not just the cloth. You can reach out to them for a lot of different services. Now, you also have Legendary, and Legendary, you send the seats to them, they'll send them back to you completely done. If you want to do that as well. Now, you're going to be doing some more work to John's car, right? You still have a few more things.
We're working, we got the long tube headers on them, set of hooker headers in the ceramic coated, they almost look like chrome. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful headers. I actually looked them up the other day and they're like $650. Ooh. Absolutely gorgeous headers. And I will tell you this, I've put headers on cars before. That was probably the easiest set of headers to put on a car that I've ever done in my life. I could not believe I actually had the old exhaust off the car along with the cast iron manifolds. I had them off within an hour. I could not believe how well that went, and I prayed, trust me, so I wouldn't break any bolts or anything else, because that would have been a royal pain. But luckily, whoever put that car together used grade 8 bolts on the exhaust manifolds, and they used anti-seize on the bolts. So that makes all the difference in the world on pre-assembly.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. All right, so let's do a walk around.
Okay.
And tell me a little bit more about, let's talk about the big bad. We'll walk
Okay.
around this one. Then we'll get you to lower the X.
Okay.
And we'll walk around that.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back
Sounds
in just
good.
a few.
This is a 1969 Javelin SST Big Bad Orange. Couple things I wanted to tell you is that the paint is absolutely gorgeous on this car. This was already painted when I actually got the car. The stripe that is actually on the car, this is actually painted in. So it's absolutely flawless.
Now, this was an original 290 and it is now,
This one now has got a 360 in there
okay.
with the
You got the Edelbrock.
Chrysler with the Edelbrock intake. It's got an Edelbrock carburetor on it, along with the 727 transmission.
Edelbrock valve covers.
Now, this has actually got a cam in it as well. This cam also came from, let me think here. I want to say Jegs, but it wasn't Jegs. It was, what's the one down in Summit?
Summit.
Summit. Came from Summit. I actually had to buy a measuring tool for the push rods,
Okay.
so I could get the proper depth and order the correct ones. Also has roller rockers on it, and it should sound pretty doggone good. I did put the original cast iron headers back on it.
Now, we can't fire this one because we're still not ready yet, right? We still
not
have,
ready yet. It's got the electronic ignition. I still haven't hooked up the electronic ignition box to it as well yet, but when I do get the car pretty much ready to start, we'll have David back up and let him videotape this as well. So I'm pretty excited about actually getting this car going.
and this is the interior that you have placed the order for the houndstooth itself.
Yes.
So for the center sections.
Yes.
I mean, she is a beautiful car. She stands out. She really does stand out nice. And this is an AC car as well.
Correct.
So for those hot Tennessee nights.
Yep. Yep.
All right, and I would get the front grille, but
It's
Let's
a
see.
beautiful. It's a beautiful grill. It's
Let's
in
see.
great shape.
we can get it in there because we're up against the garage door, everybody. But it is freaking cold outside.
But it's pretty comfortable inside.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to open the door. We're not all out to freeze off our tuchuses off. We're inside a nice heated garage. What year, Bill? 69, 290. Oh, so she's a 360. Right. So this is no way of rubber matching. This is a project car. Bill's rendition. I have some parts. I have a pretty car. So we'll go up against the wall. here with this friggin' VIN tag. We will decode the VIN tag. All right, y'all. And I got the door tag, so we will look at both of those. Trip and break my friggin' neck. Okay, Bill.
All right.
What are we looking at?
Basically, what I've done to this car so far.
Okay.
I've gone ahead and replaced all the belts.
Okay.
I also put a fan and a fan clutch on this as well, just to keep it nice and cool. Went ahead and replaced the thermostat, and when we pulled the thermostat out of this car, the thermostat on this car was actually partially stuck. So he had to keep this thing right around 55 miles an hour all the way from Florida because it kept on wanting to overheat. So now I've driven this car up and back and forth to the exhaust shop a couple times with wide open headers, about 5 miles each direction. And
staying cool.
And it's staying nice and cool, right about the quarter mark right now.
I didn't even realize this has electric wipers too, doesn't it?
Yes, it's got electric
This thing
wipers.
is loaded.
And I went ahead and replaced all the hoses as well. We also put the long tube headers on there as well. John is going to, and they're ceramic coated, ceramic coated. We're also going to replace the intake manifold on it.
Okay.
We're going to put an Alderock intake manifold on it, along with a Holley carburetor, double pumper. That's what he wanted, so that's what we're going to set it up for. Probably do that over the next couple weeks or so.
Okay.
And like I said, in this one, I also replaced all the interior in the car.
Let's take a look at that. Let's look at the interior.
Okay.
Set that hood down.
Oh, and I don't know if you noticed it on this one here. I did replace the strip, the weather strip across the back side of the hood.
The cowl strip.
The cowl strip along with the metal strip. And I replaced them with also stainless steel screws so they won't rust. Interior, I replaced all the interior in this car, all the carpeting in the car. So I had to just take everything apart, replace all the carpeting in the car, cut it to form to feed, and I got everything in the correct place. And one way that you can tell also, you can see where the mat is right there.
She's in line.
Right underneath your feet where it's supposed to be. And it's cut to form up underneath the dash, and talking about a lot of work to make that fit. And of course we got the double insulated carpeting, so it makes it extremely hard to cut. And I lined up the carpeting with this screw right here, so it's right in line where it's supposed to be. On the driver's side seat, we had some springs that were actually broken in this, so I ordered the new spring set from Legendary. So we replaced, I took the old spring set off, put the new spring set on, and put the new foam on, and then recovered the seats.
With the original covers.
With the original covers that actually were on the car when he got it. Okay. So. Now, when we took them off, they actually are from Legendary.
Okay, so they have been redone.
They had they were redone, just only the seat covers themselves.
Okay.
The foam, literally, when I was taking the foam off, it was literally falling apart in my hands.
Yeah.
And then I also sent away this small piece underneath the dash, right underneath the steering wheel. I sent that down to a place down in Alabama where they actually color match the paint. And I got it in a rattle can. Okay.
And you redid the dash.
And then I redid the dash.
And
so everything matches.
So everything in that dash is nice and clean and looks absolutely superb. So very nice job, Bill. Everything is nice and clean. Everything is nice and sharp. Looks very, very well. Okay, and then you put the Sidewinder pipes on there.
Yep.
You get the.
Put the
That's what we're
Sidewinder
waiting
pipes
on. That's what you're trying to get the exhaust man to do.
Yep, we
Because
got.
you can see the light coming through, and you're not supposed to.
Yep, got the mufflers coming. It's going to be a few weeks before we get them, so that's why I'm going to work on the intake and the carburetor.
Okay.
Until that all comes, and then we can get the exhaust redone. On the back side, there was a couple small rust holes in the floor which I cleaned up. I didn't have to patch any holes or anything else. It was just all surface rust. So I treated that and then covered everything up.
Okay.
The rear here, unfortunately, when they painted this car, they just kind of covered everything up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go as far as taking everything off and redoing it. So I also got the color match paints for the car in a rattle can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place in downtown Knoxville that actually will mix it and put it
Yeah,
in.
O'Reilly's will do it for you too. Yeah.
So O'Reilly's didn't have the color code to actually do it, so I had to run downtown to have it done. So I was real happy. Came out, it was a perfect match. And then I took the bumper guards off and I sent them off and had those re-chromed. We did cut a couple of brand new bumpers to go on here because they were split. And we also replaced the rear bumper. The taillights and the center section here, just the plastic center section, I should say, that's all brand new. But the taillights are completely brand new.
All right, those are repops, obviously, right?
Those are repops.
And those from, do you know who those came from?
Those actually came from Kennedy American.
Okay, those did come from Kennedy American.
Came from Kennedy American.
All right.
This piece here also came from Kennedy American also. I tried to save the old one, but unfortunately the little tabs
Was that bad, huh?
here, they just broke. They just kind of fell apart. And I did find the original nuts to actually put everything back together on the back side. And basically they're just speed nuts.
Yeah, and this car also has the Space Saver spare.
Correct.
So this thing was completely low. So Space Saver spare, air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, tilt wheel, Magna 500s.
Yep.
Automatic.
Yep.
Rally stripe. 390. This thing was loaded.
It was
For a
nicely-
68, this car
nicely
was
loaded.
loaded. Supposed to go to do the Sidewinder pipe.
So basically the way the Sidewinder pipe, it kind of goes from here, around here, back this way.
It made that hard of a bend turn?
And then bends in there and then goes straight back.
Wow. I didn't know it made that many turns. That's a lot of restriction, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the way they did it back then.
I think I would alter it a little bit. But this, we will make comments about your lights underneath the thing. That's cool as shit. Oh, we're gonna have to block out his license plate.
No, we won't have to block it out. He doesn't care.
People get funny about that shit. You'd be surprised. Alrighty then. All right, we were talking earlier about a little bit of about different part vendors and things like that, and we got to Carplico.
Carplico,
I guess is how you call
yes.
it. They're on one of my videos. They have some awesome products. They have a new rear quarter taillight lens that they have announced on Facebook that will be coming out. But there's one item that Bill ordered, and we actually have it in our hands. And these will fit the 60, 68, 69,
AMX and Javelin.
And the 68, 69 Rebels.
Yes.
And Ambassadors, because the Ambassador has the same front marker light.
And of course the AMX.
And of course the AMX. So these front marker lights, now these are not the bulb in them. These bulbs come out, and they are LED. And the casings are made. It's very nice. It's very clean. It's a very nice product. I mean, it's not original, but it is a very nice product. So we wanted to make mention about those couple of items. Now Jeff Kennedy, he has some nice things. He ordered a few parts from them as well, as like you said, the taillight lenses.
Yep.
A lot of these companies go out and they put in a lot of money to make these parts. So we want to make sure that you're getting good quality parts and that everybody is happy with what they get. And I believe that's a very nice product.
It is. And they go in exactly the same way as the originals. If you do put them in wrong, you will break the little outside tabs off. So you gotta read the instructions. Make sure you put them in correctly. Otherwise, you'll be out there buying another set.
Sure, another set of them. Okay.
So.
All right. So keep those in mind. You know about those parts. You can watch the other videos on the parts and service providers. And I will be sending a radio to Mr. Brent Ball at Radio Restorations and see what he actually does, and we'll actually show it to you. I'm gonna change the battery. All right, everybody. This video, we wanted to thank William Clark for inviting us into his beautiful workshop here. I have some video of the memorabilia and things that he has hanging around, and I'll put that all up in the video as well. Just remember to like, subscribe, and share it, guys. Keep us going. It's up to you. Every time we get some kind of positive feedback, it just helps us do more videos and helps us get out to more shows and more things. I wanted to remind everybody about the Great AMX Days show and the SS AMX Reunion.
Yes.
Is the event that I'm really excited about. I know AMX1 will be there. I just got confirmation about that. So I'm excited about that. And I wanted to be able to talk with as many owners of all the SS cars as I possibly could. So that's important to me. That's one of the videos I would just love to do about every single one of those cars, whether they're gone here or whatever. That's, to me, that's a big chunk of history. All right, so we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll see you again.